And Drew, you are up first.
I, I got the short straw. All right, so I want to talk about digital doppelgangers. So this is like a concept that I've been thinking about for the last like 9 months, and essentially a digital doppelganger is like it's basically the virtual version of yourself. So it's like your behaviors, your preferences, your ability to write. It writes like you, it sounds like you, it creates videos that look like you, but it's not you, and it's all AI powered. And the simple idea here is that like AI is good at a bunch of things, right? Like I know in the past on this show we've talked about like it's really good at text generation. Okay, great. Like that's really wonderful. Like chatting with a search engine basically is really exciting. It can generate text for you. That's amazing. It's really cool, but it's not the superpower. It's really good at information retrieval, right? Like, but we've had great search tools like Google for a long time, so that's not necessarily new or novel. And it's really good at sentiment analysis. In fact, it's like amazing at understanding opinions and beliefs and your nuances of understanding. And Andy, you were even talking about that on a recent show, which I found really, like persona-wise. But I think the real superpower of AI is mimicry and imitation. And so I've spent the last like 9 months trying to get AI to like mimic and imitate me. And so far I'm doing pretty well. It can imitate my writing style for very, very specific tasks. 2, it can create and mimic my voice and tone and style when I'm speaking really, really well, like indiscernibly well. And it can even generate like AI powered video that is me. It's like, it looks like me, but I never shot the video. So I just want to know what you guys think about a future where you're hired. This is my imagination of the future, where you're hired not just for the skills you bring to the table and your creativity and your talents, but you're also hired for the AI you bring along with you that does what you can do. So like
Wow.
you're like a
Yeah.
package.
I get it. I've seen you teach this from the stage, but that sounds like a little bit different angle there at the end. It's like you're hired not just for you, but for the kind of, that force multiplier version of you, like that one. And what struck me, and I'm sure Chris is thinking the same thing, is that you're going beyond just the simple text generation, like what Chris is probably thinking of right now, in multimodal AI, right? It's like using it to create. It's not just one format, like you're. And the way that I saw you do it, you made another Drew.
Yes.
I feel like I kind of know the guy. Like, tell us about this alternate version of you, your digital twin, your digital doppelganger.
Yeah, my digital doppelganger, his name is Drew Dini. And in fact, he's getting so good that I actually decided that I should set up like social media profiles for him. So
Okay.
Drew Dini, like, I did. I just got him on Instagram. So Drew Dini Davis is there. He hasn't posted anything yet. But basically, like Chris, the idea is that like in the future, I don't think we'll be creating anything on our own. And the only way to actually really reduce fear and increase your like trust with an audience in the future will be to be transparent about the fact that you've used AI to help you with this. And if you turn it into a persona, like a virtual persona, all of a sudden you can build trust in a really deep way because you're transparent about who's helping you. It's a who, not a what. Like not what tool, but Drew Dini helped me write this or shoot this video or create this stuff. So Drew Dini can basically like write a script for a promo video for an event I'm doing, and then he can actually take the script and like use a tool like 11 Labs to do the audio. And then I can take the audio out of that and then actually upload it to a tool like HeyGen. And at the end of it, I have a pretty good like promo video that I never had to shoot and I didn't write. And it only took me about, 4 minutes instead of 40.
So HeyGen also has an advanced lab feature where you can go to one of their studios and get your whole body from like the waist up.
I saw that.
I saw Peter Diamandis did it. He has a thing called Peterbot. Same thing, but it's like, it's one thing when it's doing your facial expressions and stuff like that. I do a video where I do my pitch in multiple different languages and it kind of spooks out the audience, but it goes a whole nother level when it's your body moving too, because it's funny because like the way you walk and the way you move is characteristically you. Like there's like military things where they found like Osama bin Laden by the gait, like
What?
his walking style.
Oh,
Wow.
I didn't
You know what I
know
mean?
that.
Like-
Wow, that's crazy.
It's nuts, right? Yeah. My
I do this a lot.
immediate-
Is it going to know me from that with my superhero pose? That's Andy right
Yapping.
there. That's the guy.
That's the real Andy.
I always thought that, like the way I feel like AI is going to be so infused to everything, it's almost like saying, "Oh, I used Microsoft Word to help me write this script." You know what I mean? It's going to be so ubiquitous. But what I kind of believe is going to happen is that we're going to go into a world where we're going to crave genuine humanity. And so the VIPs are going to get the real Drew. And then the ones who would have a downsell would say, if you need more help, I don't have the time to do these things, but you have access to all my expertise. And so you can reach my Drew Dini custom GPT for the rest. And it's not just stuff that I scraped off the internet. Anything you get in this portal has been researched, verified by me. It's stuff I've published and all that stuff like that. And I think making sure that you have a really clean, airtight Drew Dini becomes an asset how great would it be? It's like, oh, I'm a public speaker. I'm going to speak at your event. And VIP guests also get access to Drew Dini because I'm uploading my transcript of what I'm going to present. And you can ask my transcript questions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or vice
I mean,
versa.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wait, what's the vice versa?
Well, it'd be like, yeah, everybody
Like-
gets Drew Dini because he scales. But if you want
Yes.
Drew Davis
Exactly.
is like the VIP, like come on behind the,
Yep.
the velvet rope.
Yeah. Yeah, I think two things. Like one, I don't know. I think the real problem with AI, it's kind of threefold, but like I think the ethical and like moral unease people have when they're using AI to create something that then they put their byline on. Like most people have this problem. I don't anymore, but I think it's because I've like taken control of the AI, trained it my way, and then I can say it's written by Andrew Dini, and I feel like no ethical unease. It's like I worked with a writer, collaborator. Like it's an article by both of us, so I don't really think like it's a tool because it'll be so ubiquitous, like you said, that it's not, you won't use it like a tool. It'll be just able to do stuff on its own. So like, here's a good example, Chris. Like you can actually email Drew Dini. Anyone that's listening or watching wants to email Drew Dini, you can email him. I'll send you guys the link so you can put it in there. But so basically, I don't have a call to action in my speech. I just say, if you want to email Drew Dini and ask him a question, go for it. And I just did this speech last week, and somebody had a 15 thread back and forth conversation with Drew Dini, and he got all the answers he wanted. But here's the thing, Chris, it's not a duplicate of me. He has his own personality. Like when he writes the emails, they're a little different. Like it's enough of me. And like this person loved it, it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy. And he's working all night, I don't have to ever respond to those.
Crazy, right?
I read them all just to make sure he's not doing anything shady. But he does actually understand my preferences, and he's really good at kind of corresponding the way I would with his own voice and tone. So I think there's a big ability, an opportunity for brands to do this in a deeper way as well.
And I got to say, this is the dumbest AI will ever be.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, for sure.
Yep. I was thinking the same thing. It's like, take a wild guess. This is super fun with you here, Drew, because you had kind of like a visionary bit here. What is Drew Dini going to be doing 5 years from today?
Okay, so I've mapped him out. Okay, so basically there's I think there's 4 versions of Drew Dini.
Okay.
Yeah. Here, I did this with Drew Dini, by the way, so it's not just my vision, it's our vision. So right now, yeah, he can imitate and mimic my writing style and my voice, but it's very manually oriented. I have to do each step with him, and I have to prompt him to get him to write it. I have to upload the information for everything. Then he can synthesize it, and he spits out something that's A+ every time. It's really good. Okay, but Drew Dini 2.0, I think Drew Dini 2.0 is much more he'll be able to actually produce the product and understand a few steps in the process and do them for me. So for example, if I need a new promo video, he'll be able to like say, oh, you need a new promo video? I'll go online and find the information about the event. I'll write a draft script. If you like it, then I know next step is to create the video, and I'll just create the video for you when you say that's great, right? So it's kind of like it'll understand the multi-step process. I think the third version is really predictive Drudini, where he'll see that like I just booked a new gig and I put it on my website, and I won't ever interact with it. He'll write the promo script, he'll shoot the video, he'll send the email to the organizer and say, here, we just created a promo video for you, Drudini and Andrew and I, and I'll get a response from them, and he'll respond to it as if it was me, all automated. And then I think the last version is essentially like completely like behavior and preference Drudini, which is essentially not only can he mimic and imitate me, but he can actually really think like me. So he'll be able to negotiate a sales deal the way I would negotiate a sales deal because he's learned so much about me, and even execute it on my behalf and send a thank you video, to the client. So that's kind of the picture, and I think it's probably faster than 5 years. Like, I think if ChatGPT 2 is like the size of a bee's brain, and like ChatGPT 4 is the size of a squirrel's brain, like we're pretty close to a human-sized brain.
Oh, yeah. But wait, hold on a minute. I'm cool with everything up until Drudini 4.0. In that, you just described a world where you wake up in the morning and you like got like tickets to Bratislava, and you didn't even know, like your AI buddy just signed a contract and bought you a ticket.
This already exists, actually. You still have to do some manual entry, but I actually tried it. I forget what it's called. There's an AI agent that has strung together a bunch of stuff, including browser control. And I almost ordered from Uber, like just saying like, go, like I'm hungry. And all of a sudden, like I could see my browser being taken over, and it like logged into Uber Eats, and then it's like picking food, and it was about to check out. And I literally shut down the browser. I was like, Control Command quit. Like, I don't know how to get out of this. So we're pretty close. Yeah, I think that's the difference though between like an AI bot and a digital doppelganger. By the time Drudini will be buying on my behalf, he'll truly understand like my budget, and like there'll be complete transparency between he and I, and he's not going to do things that are in my like that are outside of my like
Bratislava.
My own behaviors. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's out. It's out. I don't even know where Bratislava is, so I'll Google map it now.
I could just see you being like, Elizabeth, somehow I'm speaking in Chechnya on
Yeah.
Friday. How did that happen?
How
Ask
did that
Drudini.
Exactly.
Not
Well,
that
you know what? I
yet.
won't ask
Not
Elizabeth. Drudini will ask Elizabeth.
Exactly.
And she and I are just going to sit on the couch and watch Netflix. But here's the thing. Like
Faux Elizabeth and Drudini will be working together.
Invisibeth.
Elizabeth. That's awesome.
Dear listeners, Elizabeth is Drew's wife and agent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
It took us 12 minutes to get off the rails here.
Oh, sorry. That's really bad.
This is how our podcast works. It's like it doesn't.
Okay, good. I'm glad I derailed it. No, I think like here's the bottom line. I think digital doppelgangers will make our lives more creative. Like this is what I've been telling everybody I meet. Like I really feel like marketing for me has become a bunch of button clicking and list generating and data querying and persona asking, and like it's not as creative or as fun as I ever thought it would be. And I think it's got less fun over time with more channels and more media that we've got to create. It's become like a desperate like land grab for just the tasks we need to complete. So I think this is going to free me up to be way more creative. Like I have a book I haven't written, I'd rather be writing that book right now and Drudini be helping me with the things that I can trust him to help me with and do the way I would do, like A+ every time.
Let me ask you a question. I want to push back on something because I created a presentation for a conference. It's actually a friend of ours, Andy, Rich Brooks's summit, and I was talking about Agents of Change.
Oh yeah.
And what I was saying is that in the beginning, advanced players like you are going to get this, what I would call like this separation, this, this major gap between the people that are novice users and whatever. But eventually, when everyone has it, will the tactics that win clients' attention now be, if everyone has them, it's like rising tides lift all ships. So I think that the things that are going to win people's hearts and minds later are just going to have to be the next level up. So like, I think that everything that wins clients' attention now is, let's say, particularly a level 2. The AI gets us to a level 6, but if everyone's at a level 6 and that's the new plan, that's the new break even, then to win hearts and minds, you might have to do a level 9. And I don't know what the AI does there. I don't know whether it's a human connection. I don't know what I don't know, but I think that a lot of times people come to me and they're afraid of AI because they think that other people are going to have it and they won't. And I'm like, no, you will have it too. So we don't know what we don't know as far as what the new battlefield will be. But I do know that, like you writing your blogs for 3 hours, that's not going to be what you do in 3 years from now. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't disagree with you. But my question is, do you think the things that work now, the things that got you here, is that what's going to get you there later on? And I don't know.
I don't know that I can answer that. I think there are two things. Like, I think the people that are scared of AI, and there are a lot of people that are scared of using AI, or they're scared that AI is going to take their jobs, so they don't want to engage with it. Like, I realized in talking to someone a few weeks ago in Delaware that, like, really you have like this AI compass inside you now that you're like working with AI, if you've ever even tried it. Like, you're pulled in multiple directions. Like, all of a sudden it'll produce something that's pretty good, and you kind of have this awe and this just wonder at what it's capable of, right? And when it does produce something that's great, and then you think, oh, I'm going to send this to my boss, or I'm going to use this strategy, or I'm going to email this to someone, you do feel this ethical unease all of a sudden pull at you. Like, man, should I really be doing this? Like, should I tell them I used AI? Forget it, I'm not going to do it. And then I think on the other end, like, if this kind of other pull is just like the fear that I don't control this and it's going to take over my job and I'm going to lose my job. And we've seen those headlines. And I think the only way to fix that problem is really like to kind of embrace the awe, be really transparent about your use of it, and then make sure you control it. And so I think right now the biggest problem we all have is that if we're giving up control, then yes, you're right. Like, the playing field is going to be leveled. Everybody else has access to every one of these tools that writes great blog posts and does SEO better than all of us have ever done SEO. It'll create better videos than we can create, faster than we can create. So if everybody's just using the tool, and my point here is it's not a tool, then yeah, the playing field's level and the machines run the world, and we're not going to buy anything, and you don't need an emotional appeal. It'll just be done for you. But I do think if we take back control, like if we say, no, I want to own my own AI that's on top of some large language model and some video engine and some graphics engine, but it's going to do things the way I do in my style all the time, and I want to own that transparency and control, and then I want to be able to offer that as a product or a person or a service to somebody else. That's where the true value is. And then at that point, the playing field isn't level and your creativity is amplified, so everyone's will be different. But if we just think we should just let the tech bros create tools for us that do the job better than we do, everything's just going to be generic. Yeah, like the new normal, as you said, Chris.
Yeah. Well, Andy created. I'm teeing you up here, Andy. Tell them about the thing you just published, because when you started off saying, like, what do people want to hear about from AI? How comfortable are they with getting an output from AI? You had the coolest post, Andy. I think I CC'd you. I forwarded it to like 10 people. I was like, oh, this is really, really cool. Yep.
So, short version, a year ago, I asked myself, well, should this go into our marketing messages? In other words, do our potential buyers want to hear that we are using it because they trust it, or that we're not using it because they distrust it? Who knows? Let's ask a bunch of people. So Question Pro, super sweet, very great collaborators, can do a survey of a general population, and that's what I'm doing here, basically. It's like, let's ask a bunch of consumers, do you want your doctor to not use AI or to do their work and check it with AI, or to have AI do it and they check it, or to have a robot doctor. So it's like four degrees, right? 4 answers. 4 doctors, 4 lawyers, 4 financial planners, 4 accountants, for different categories, and for marketers, right? And it comes back mixed, but and then largely what it seems like is that people are perfectly fine having their service providers use AI for help. The majority of respondents for every one of these categories, like, yep, go ahead, doctor, check your work with AI. There's lots of trust. It's pretty equal across gender and geography and race and age. I thought that was interesting. So, and then we did it again yesterday and published this morning. So now you can start to see, like, actually the trust in AI slipped a little bit. It's within the margin of error. It's a very slight difference. But this question is about, like, when should we include, should we embrace it? What do our audiences think? Should it go in our marketing messages? And just trying to get a gauge for that. Obviously, AI has infinite use cases. And, if your brain is doing it this way, as Drew just described, like task by task, you're asking yourself, like, is there an AI method for this specific task? But yeah, we should always be transparent. And my perspective personally, this is my point of view, which, by the way, expressing your point of view is a way to differentiate yourself from AI. AI has no point of view. I joke AI stands for, if you've trained it carefully, Drew. It's a bit, I know what you're doing and I love it. But AI, as you said, it sort of, I joke it stands for average information. It tastes like water. It's the summary of the internet. So having a point of view obviously helps you differentiate yourself from low quality garbage. But my point of view is that AI is a fantastic tool for research and that we should all be embracing that use case and that marketing message, that we use AI to be smarter ourselves. Whether or not we should use it to actually make things, that's still controversial. Fine, back up, not ready yet. I personally don't use it to write my stuff. But heck yeah, I'm going to use it to find the best soundbite in that video transcript to know what to post on social media. Why wouldn't I do that? So that's where I'm coming from.
So when I stumbled upon this thing where I just started teaching AI, and it started into once a month, and then it turned into twice a month, and now I'm doing it like 10 to 15 times a month. Like, it's pretty much all I do. But I use this analogy that if AI is a calculator for words, and your accountant came to you and said, oh, by the way, Drew, we've had a great relationship, so much so that I did all of your taxes without a calculator. You know what I mean? I'd be like, well, do them again. You know what I mean? Like, it's my expectation you're going to use a calculator.
Right. It increases trust for certain things.
I think I want your eye on the ball, but I also want you to use a calculator. I think that that's the way I view AI. It's like, okay, you're my doctor. If you are going to be connected to MedPalm 2, and it's going to know diseases faster and better than you do, but you also know how to, triage and to basically do, like, develop a prognosis with all the information you have, all the better. I'd hate for my doctor to be like, I'd hate to use this massive resource because I'd rather do it in my head for you because I love you so much. I'm like, no, man, what is this thing on my shoulder?
That's right. Use every tool you got. Yeah, for sure.
I think here's the difference. I think we're all saying the same thing in the very short term. Everybody's using it as a tool right now, right? And I actually have a Dr. Drudini that I've already trained him with all my medical history. I've told him everything about me, and so anytime I see like a weird thing on my shoulder, I literally take a picture of it and I ask Dr. Drudini, and he helps me figure it out. So we're all using it like a tool. But I think here's the difference, Andy. I think, and Chris, I think in the very short term, like I'm already seeing it with tools like Air AI. Like, have you guys tried Air AI?
But I know about it.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it or heard of it, for those that are listening, it's basically like an AI agent that is designed to be a sales representative. So it can actually reason with you and have a conversation. And all the demos I've seen, and I've done it myself, I've set up my own Air AI Drudini, and he's amazing. Like, he's really good at sales. Here's the thing, that it's like, there's going to be a point in the very near future where we are so good at like mimicking the human traits that people won't know if you're actually talking to a doctor or you're talking to AI. And so my point is that I would like if Dr. Davis is busy and I really want to know what's on my shoulder, I'd rather Dr. Davis say, hey, you know what? Like, I'm busy. I can't have an appointment for 14 weeks. But guess what? You can talk right now in a video call with my AI version of me. I'd rather do that. So like, all I'm saying is I think if we stop thinking of it as a series of tools that people are using to help make them better and just think about the leap we could take if like those two things are melded together, I think you come up with a much more exciting future that's very clear to the consumer what you're dealing with. Instead of what I see with Air AI is like, people are going to be buying things from Air AI bots that they never should have bought because it's so good at actually convincing you to do something. There's going to be a lawsuit in the next 9 months, I guarantee you.
All right, we got to move on. This is I
We
want
should be moving on like 10 minutes ago.
No. This is what it's about. I'm gonna be thinking about this exact topic, and I think this is really at the heart of the big conversation. I mean, this is about why. This is the why. This is about trust. This is a longer term perspective. This is why we love Drew. So thank you.